The Retro Squad have officially left Alton Towers and something interesting has been happening behind the scenes. Colossus at Thorpe Park is finally getting some love and attention about 20 years later than it should have. And there's loads of brand new rides opening across the world, including one that's been announced at Legoland Windsor and even one in Southend of all places. All that and more has happened this past week in theme parks. Yes, hello, we are back again with the best UK theme park series on YouTube. And that's a lie. We're back again with one of the UK theme park series on YouTube, and this time we're even going worldwide. I know, it's scary, isn't it? There is genuinely a lot of news this week, so be sure to buckle your seatbelts and make sure you're strapped in, because this is going to be an interesting one. If you do go on to enjoy this video and you do want to see more just like this, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Right, my first task this week is to discuss and find out where the hell I start, because there's so much going on. I mean, if you've watched this series before, you'll know that pretty much every single episode, without trying, I seem to report on both Nemesis and Hyperia. And because it's closed season now, unless the parks release something themselves, I cannot give you much updates on them two, because that would be illegal. I'd be trespassing at that point. There may be no new updates on those two rides opening next year, but there is an update for yet another new ride that's opening in the UK in 2024. The list of new rides for next year keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's like 10 new rides opening now. That's crazy. And this time, this ride is going to be opening at Southend Adventure Island. And it is a pretty big addition, to be fair. I don't really talk about this place much, but here we go. They're going to be building a 38-metre tall drop tower, which is about 124 feet in the air, if you want, in metric form. But 120 feet in the air, that's the same height as the Swarm at Thorpe Park. So, that's a pretty big drop. However, if you don't like drop towers too much, don't worry, because it probably won't be the most forceful drop in the world. Because in all of the concept art that's been released about this ride, they've just been using photos that resemble the model of another drop tower we know, Croc Drop at Chessington. That does not have the most forceful drop in the world. So if we're going off that, the intensity of this should be around the same as a Ferris wheel. Now, they have showcased where this new ride is going to be, and it's right here, I believe, which is where the Pharaoh Twister thing was, which they've just moved to another area of the park. And I'd say the most impressive thing about this new drop tower is how they've managed to fit it in when they haven't removed any rides. That park is so small, surely they're going to have to build into the sea soon. And we, the general public, were given the chance to name this thing. There's the Tower, the Needle, Up 360, or Vertigo. I know which I'd choose. The Needle. I love riding a drop tower and thinking of pharmaceutical procedures. I'd probably go for Vertigo, because every other one sounds like an observation tower. Either way, we will see how forceful that ride is and how good it is when it drops in 2024. Way. And something else that was recently announced that's going to also be dropping down the hillside in 2024 is the brand new dueling roller coasters at Legoland Windsor, and they finally have a new name and some confirmation behind them. The new coasters are going to be called Minifigure Speedway and they're going to open in spring of 2024. They're going to race down the hillside and they will be manufactured by Sierra, not Vekoma this time. No. It's going to reach 56 kilometers an hour and see Team All-Stars and Team Legends race for the win on a track like no other, as they described it. They're already stealing Thorpe Park's branding and they haven't even got rid of their logo yet. But these coasters are going to be perfect for Legoland, and I'm really excited to see this huge new investment go in. And yes, those coasters may be huge, but something even more huge. The very well-known event of IAAPA has been taking place over in Orlando. If you don't know what IAAPA is, it's basically where loads of roller coaster and ride manufacturers and theme parks come together and sort of showcase new trains, new rides, new experiences. And as much as this wasn't UK based, I'm going to go through a few highlights from that event. I could probably make an entire episode on this. The new Top Thrill Dragster 2.0 trains have been revealed and they seem to have the biggest coaster wheels in existence. A new Vekoma coaster is opening in the USA and has been revealed to have gravy boat trains. Oh my god, they look amazing. And most importantly, the fastest, longest and tallest roller coaster in the world has officially had its trains revealed and more statistics made. It's going to be over 600 feet tall. What? And the trains have even bigger wheels than Top Thrill Dragster. My god, the fact this is still happening, this is just one of the most stupid and crazy projects that's ever been made in roller coaster history. I don't even know what to say. Either way, something that has come out of the UK recently that's super exciting, I'm sure it's just as exciting as all those new ride reveals, is Colossus at Thorpe Park is getting a repaint and some sparkle treatment. That's how they've described it. And you know what? This is a great step forward for Colossus and Thorpe Park as a whole. Again, I made a whole video on how Thorpe Park is going to change massively and how they're putting so much effort into clean up the park and blah, blah, blah. So the fact they're doing this is amazing to see. Because over close season, they're basically repainting a part of the ride, doing some TLC on the surrounding area, and retracking a massive amount of one support. Here's what they said on Facebook. Over the close season, we're embarking on an ambitious sparkle project which will see lots of improvements across the park. More info soon. So we're getting multiple projects across the park. Even better, we're kicking the project off with a Colossus repaint. As Colossus is also due a major PLC upgrade, we only have a few months to paint as much as possible. This year we're aiming to complete the station, brake run, Heartline rolls and the Cobra roll. The rest is due in the winter of 24/25 alongside sections of track replacement. It'll all be worth it, but for the next year, Colossus, half of it's going to look amazing and brand new, and the rest of it's still going to look really tired. It is really good to see them actually giving some love and attention to Colossus. It's needed it for so long, and even if they have just said they're going to retrack one support, I don't even know how that happens. At least we're getting more track replacement next year and also getting that full repaint, so it should look very lovely. I'm still waiting on that black mirror removal though. Thorpe Park are most certainly on the up. We love it. And somewhere else that's on the up right now is Alton Towers. They recently closed for the season, as has most other theme parks. Duh. And we knew that that final day of the season would mean the Retro Squad would depart. But there has been a few images circulating social media of the Retro Squad progressively actually leaving the resort. Progressively being the key word there. Because Funkenfly left the park literally days after it closed, and the others left quite a while after. And that might just be coincidence that one of them went way earlier than the others, but well, it probably is that. But removing one so quickly is surely a sign that they want to do something with that area as soon as possible. And with that, and the fact that there's also been some recent talks that have apparently been happening behind the scenes, I think we can most certainly say there's a new flat ride going there very soon. But before I get into those interesting findings to do with the area of Funkenfly, the other two Retro Squad rides, of course, sadly existed, and now, as you can see confirmed here, they have left the resort too, leaving those gaps unfilled as well. Sadly, Spin Jam is not here to stay. Upset is an understatement. But what is interesting about what could potentially replace these rides is recently there's been a lot of persistent rumours regarding Huss, the flat ride manufacturer, and the fact that they have been in heavy consultation or conversation with Alton Towers. Now again, this is a rumour. I have heard this from multiple people though, which is why I'm actually making a video somewhat on it. It could be a troll, and I would find that hilarious. But let's say it's 100% true, just for the video. That would be perfect, because one, that means the flat rides we get would be reliable, good running rides, because SBF aren't really those words. And two, because Huss did make a previous ride that sat in one of their areas. I wonder what one I could be talking about. I'm of course talking about Enterprise. Oh, and also Ripsaw. But the fact those two rides are literally Huss manufactured, or were, that manufacturer has made newer models of these older models. And if they are in talks with Alton Towers, what's stopping them from bringing back Ripsaw and Enterprise? Can you imagine? I honestly pray we see that, although I also don't, because I did say that I'd eat my shoe if Ripsaw and Enterprise came back. Send immediate help, please. But with how quick Funkenfly went and the fact that Towers never mess around with doing new projects, I definitely think we'll see another flat ride in Forbidden Valley next year. If Huss are involved, it doesn't just mean that Ripsaw or Enterprise are going to be the replacement, because they do so many more flat rides. A Huss breakdance would definitely be a popular choice. Just look at it go. It looks beautiful. Sadly, we wouldn't see this giant frisbee, although I wish we could see that. For God's sake, tree line. But yeah, if they are in talks with Huss, then it might not even be all the flat ride replacements are from them. It might be different ones. We might actually see that Nebulas that I've been saying for about 5 years now. I want to be right with something, please. Leave your thoughts on all of these different stories in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more news. Good morning.